guys, I hope everyone is doing great. I come to you today with a beautiful, sweet novella. It is very short, just 1.5 hours. It is beautiful, and this is Making Merry by Kerrigan Byrne. This is a novella part of the Good Girls series, but it kind of has more relation to the Victorian Rebel series. But again, both series are interconnected. I recommend starting with the Victorian Rebels and then making it your way to the Good Girls. However, this novella can just go as a stand-alone. You are not missing out. However, the FMC in this book, Vanessa, is the younger sister of Veronica, who ends up with Sebastian in the Earl on the Train. Now, this book is actually a paranormal historical romance. I did not expect that. I did not read the book's description prior to starting the book, so I was surprised, but I liked it a lot. I liked the book a very lot. I know this is not the correct way to say it, but I just want to make sure you understand how much I like the book. I loved it. Let's just say that. I adored it. Now, we have Vanessa, who stays in the inn in the Highlands in a haunted room, and the room is haunted by Jonathan, who's a ghost. He died in the Jacobite Rebellion 150 years ago, and every once in a while he appears and he's able to materialize, to show himself. Sometimes he's even able to touch things, make things move, and he kind of terrorizes the inn every once in a while. He's angry. He's stuck in there. He's got nothing to do. He died young. He died at 35. He was an English soldier who was fighting in the Jacobite Rebellion against the Scottish, and he died in battle, unfortunately. Now, why was he stuck in that inn when he has never actually been there is a mystery to be solved, and it is solved in the book. Now, Vanessa is what's called, I guess, a ruined woman because she had an intimate relationship with someone and then he didn't marry her, and he published her name in a magazine where he basically wrote nasty things about her. So her name is ruined to the point that even her family is avoiding her. So over Christmas, she is in the Highlands while her family is in Paris enjoying the Christmas festivities. In this novella, we get to witness Vanessa and John fall in love. So essentially, she's falling in love with a ghost. And it was so sad because it felt like there's no way they can be together. Vanessa finds John's ring buried in the room. Apparently what happened back during the Jacobite Rebellion, the girl who lived in that room, she would go to the battlefields after battle and she would take soldiers' things and either sell them or just keep them. And she took Jonathan's ring and she hid it, she buried it in her rooms. And turns out that's the reason John has been stuck in that room without being able to move on to the next life, next world, whatever it is. And when Vanessa finds it, the ring calls to him. So he's like, put it on my finger. And when she does, he actually materializes into practically a physical being. And as soon as he does, he crushes her in a kiss. And they move on to make love several times, actually quite steamy, quite good. And she pretty much falls in love, and as does he. And he knows they're not meant to be. So he only has one thing to ask her. He asks her to leave the ring in his family's mansion, where his bones are. Because the ring belongs to the family, the ring has always belonged to the Earl, and he was an Earl. Vanessa doesn't want to lose him, and she's kind of clinging on to every moment she gets with him, and she's so scared of falling asleep. She's like, no, don't make me fall asleep. I don't want to miss a moment with you. And he tells her that he loves her. And then she just really relaxes and she falls asleep. And then fast forward to Vanessa breaking into Jonathan's family's crypt where his bones are buried, because she wants to bury the ring with his remains. And it is such a heartbreaking moment because she loves him, she misses him, she knows it's not meant to be, and it's just ridiculous to even think of him because he's a ghost. But he's ultimately the man she shared her passion with, the man she fell in love with. And as she finds his grave in the family crypt, she gets caught by the new Earl, who is the direct descendant of John, and whose name coincidentally is also John. And when she looks at him, she realizes that he looks exactly like that John. Like he looks like the same person, except different haircut, maybe slightly different body type, because this one didn't fight in the war. And she explains that she's trying to return the ring to its owner. And then she's like, well, I should probably just give it to you because it belongs to the Earl. When he puts the ring on, something happens. And this is the magic moment where that John, who died 150 years ago, somehow becomes one with this reincarnation of John, who's standing in front of Vanessa right now. And he has all those memories from that John. And he says, you know what, I was born empty. I wasn't alive until now. And now my soul finally is back in my body, and I remember everything. I remember our night together, and I love you, and I'm going to make you my countess. And this is one way to make a ghost have a happily ever after. Of course, my brief summary didn't do this beautiful story any justice. This story absolutely needs to be read. I did not expect the characters to have a happy ending, and I'm just so glad and so surprised that they did. And it's honestly a beautiful story. Absolutely 5 stars. This is a very short read. As I mentioned, it only takes you like 1.5 hours maximum to get through the book. It can go as a standalone, but I always prefer reading my books in order when it's a series. Have you read Making Mary? What did you think about it? Honestly, I'm not usually a fan of paranormal in my historical romance, but this book just works, and it makes sense. It's a beautiful story. I enjoyed it greatly. And that is all I have to say about Making Mary. Thank you so much for watching. If you are also a fan of historical romance, make sure to subscribe so we can talk more about books. Have a great day.